We know that Emilia is really, really fast, so outrunning her is not one of our options. We should think of a way to distract her that keeps her occupied for some time, not just for a few seconds. So how much time did it take her to go upstairs and come back with a trap?
Almost instantaneously.
You can see how fast she runs without what happened to her later. And Cinder will use her plus 10 speed and show them approximately how quick she runs without what has happened to her since.
Does stand for the trophy you guys found in the athletic school. And it's even faster than that from what you guys heard with the paces because of mutation.
The Chico turns to another Cinder and says, "You're just showing off."
I mean, it gives you an idea, but yeah, it's kind of cool to run this quick.
We could try to deceive her, she puts the air quotes, and put the trophy and go into the room and say, "Oh, look, a little boy has left a trophy on the corridor," and then she would run up to leave another trap for us, but it seems it won't give us enough time to do whatever we want to do.
No, I don't think it would. I mean, we could use the C4, but...
We could cut off Logan's head, leave it somewhere, and then go past.
Why not carry the whole body?
She might find it a bit more dramatic.
Isn't the idea that she would be preoccupied with the body for some time?
Well, if we bring up pieces, she might go look for the rest of him. Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, with the deep-seated hate that she has for him, maybe giving the whole body will give us enough time for her to destroy him.
There's another factor we have to keep in mind. As I've been researching, the ones that I've grown to worry about more is actually Logan, not Emilia. I'm afraid if we start carrying around a Logan corpse, we might have 2 Ultra Boss monsters on our hand instead of 1.
I mean, the thing is, we're not going to be able to get out of room 9 until we deal with Amelia.
My plan was to, place the trophy and then go speak to the wall on the boiler room, because I thought this would relay the message to her. But maybe we can do this. Maybe I can go, I don't know how you can go out, but maybe I can go up and pretend I'm Logan and then immediately hide, and maybe she will come to the room and this would cause something.
I mean, I like the idea of using you as bait.
That's because you're a pussy.
Exactly.
I deeply relate to Artemis at this point.
Noel, do you have any input?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Why she could hear us in the pod room but not here? What is it that enables her to hear us? What the fuck is the wall skin?
Honestly, I would say you should go up and have a look yourself, and I think you'd be more than qualified to have a look at that, those marks I was telling you about before.
So Chico gets up to go and do that.
One of the Cinders will be going up as well.
I would rather you don't follow me. I might need to hide, and you're not as good at hiding as I am. Don't worry, I'm not going to fight her. I will be back with more information.
That's a good point, except you're fucking wrong.
I'll stay down here if you wish. I'm not as good at hiding in this body.
So I just let her know I hope she gets lost on her way.
If I die, at least I won't have to hear your voice anymore, and that would be the best perk of dying.
All the Cinders just put their head in their hands and shake their head.
So Sechiko goes out.
Also, can Artemis get the information about the cryptic messages?
You find out that the format seems to closely resemble that of writings that you've seen of the butler. And you think that the information, first of all, was brought to these documents mostly by the butler. And because now you know the format, you can kind of know what the general, very, very vague gist of certain cryptic messages might have been.
I will also dedicate a lot of time to doing it, by the way.
Sachiko, first thing to tell you, it doesn't seem to be able to have anything auditory. If you were to study it, you would know what this is capable of, but it would trigger whatever it is capable of.
Cuts the motherfucker with a scalpel and study it.
Dear, testing the boiler. Amelia jerks, trying to look back. I have already forgotten about Sam, father. And starts whistling loudly, continuing to do whatever she was doing.
Do I still have a turn?
First, Artemis, you understand that the butler was condemning Emily Hopewell of being involved with a bigger ordeal than the father believes. But Norman, in turn, he is brushing him off, saying, you can be sure she is being used to run the place and puppet-owned to the depths of her home. In fact, we can use her as well by bringing her closer and allowing her safety should times get rough, to trace back to whoever the big pins might be if they were to be dangerous. And there are other bits of information that the butler seems to be relaying as if they are trying together to track different people. A lot of them seem to be related to someone called Theodore. But again, you could decrypt these much better if you had other information. Quickly back to Sachiko to finish her turn.
Sachiko says, so, dear Mr. Skin, you have brought dishonor upon yourself, and you've got to commit seppuku. And then she shoves the scalpel again into the skin and does a very wide gash.
Honey, testing the boiler. I think you would like to deal with it. And then again, Amelia is just whistling louder and also shouts, the boiler is not important, father. I have checked every other place whenever you've told me. Now stop.
Well, I'm gonna take the antidepressants.
It can actually help you with morale damage in the long term, but you think there might be some consequences if you take a couple times, but then stop.
Right.
Keep in mind, this is experimental and it isn't even necessarily something that doctors prescribe. So whatever type of drug this is, it does that. But he has yet to find out side effects.
I'm gonna wait till the drugs kick in a bit more.
Let's say some time passes. This definitely isn't your normal antidepressant. You can't quite know how it reacts with other drugs until you test them together, but you know the effects will be extreme, whether good or bad.
I want to specifically start flipping through the different documents and compare it to like any effects it's having, if it's taking me longer, if I'm faster.
As a sense-based character, your focus is going off the roof, and confusion and distraction mean nothing to you. And you even think you could have selective hearing while you're on this. Like your brain can comprehend things in strange ways.
Right. Okay.
Sin and Artemis?
From what Artemis has read and anything previous that he's looked at, does he have any clue what it would be that would give him more information about this?
Every set of cryptic text that you look at, if you assume the person is, for example, evil, it can be interpreted as if there's a masterful evil plan going on. It depends on thinking about who the person is, what they were trying to do. The more you know about the person.
Interesting.
Can you tell me anything else about the emergency stash? White.
Apocalypse-ready equipment, that of survival equipment, but also some weaponry, are being kept in a place that seems to secretly be owned by Norman Tromment, a sort of fancy auto repair shop for luxurious cars.
Okay.
And Sachiko?
Put the trophy on the ground. Say very loudly, oh my god, this creepy little boy dropped a trophy. Does anything happen?
You can't see Amelia, but you think for a second whatever she was doing, she stops it, as if listening intently, then continues with whatever she's doing.
As she's saying this, she begins stabbing the skin like a crazy person. And she says, oh no, what a scary little boy. He hides, he jumps. What can I do?
Norman's voice doesn't seem to be coming anymore, and you hear, no more attention for you, pretender. You are already forgotten. It hurts, doesn't it?
The Chico tries to kick the trophy in a way that it goes out the doorway.
Without looking at the door, rushing, she hits over it, demolishing and just bending this trophy, and just kick it back and just... Forgotten is what I said you are.
The Chico just moons the doorway out of frustration and then stabs the skin some more times and then goes downstairs. And
Was she able to reach the skin on the side of the kitchen, wasn't it?
why would she think of doing that? As far as she knows, this is just the same skin. No?
Yeah, but now she knows that the skin, that it'll make the father prompt her to go somewhere, and if she does it in the other room, then it might make her go that way. I think Sachiko would, because she put two and two together before, so if not, Artemis would say.
Ah, okay, so now she guesses that we know where we can distract her to. She just thinks it's time to form a group plan, so she goes downstairs and relays all the things we talked about to the other players.
All of you are in the shelter, looking through papers and documents all together and talking about what your plan is.
Is there anything about a doctor's lab in those documents?
Nothing that I can see for the contact pins. Look at it. It's interesting.
My first question is there any name that I recognize from my crime-riddled past?
Shaheen Atlassian, very hated by all sorts of criminal syndicates and mafia families because of her superhero type approach to journalism, and with a team of lawyers turning the rules and the laws upside down just like the criminals would, but in order to reveal information about people and about criminals specifically. And you know that she did rise to fame, and she actually did manage to get lots of money out of what she was doing.
So I want to read the part about her and see what I learn.
Definitely a pod owner, and there is a code noted, so it does have some information on that. And owns debris phone. Norman and Lawman had found a way to gain her debris contact. That still works even right now. That's the residential one, and it's marked yellow on the map. There seems to also be a number, but that seems to hint at another document that seems like you guys are missing.
Was there a photo of her among the photos in the butler room?
No.
Okay.
I would like to try to make a little invention, basically just like a grenade that you throw in a room, except it just makes annoying noises and moves around.
My ex, basically.
Yes.
The types of equipment you can use are some of the equipment used to repair interfaces. Would you like to sacrifice some of those?
Yes.
How many?
I just want one.
1/5 of a flashbang, flash-wise, but it can continue to glow in a sort of hypnotizing way and move around while making sound.
Perfect.
Wait, so is she breaking open a flashbang in front of me right now?
No. Repair stuff from the storage.
Oh, if you get any flashbang powder, let me know. I want to smoke it.
Cinder almost says something, and then he says, I want to smoke it. And she just doesn't say anything.
Artemis will ask Noel, can you actually smoke a flashbang?
Well, certainly. I can.
I'd pay to see that. He starts looking over at Cinder.
I'd pay to experience that.
You're going to pay with what?
I do have a vagina now. In fact, right now, I'm Artemis's wife.
You're free to do whatever you want.
I will elicit.
Have we gone through all the pens?
You have gone through all the pins. There's just something that seems to be missing that the numbers refer to.
Noel, do you mind going up to the boiler room with me to see if we can find some wires just in case we have to zap the bitch?
Yeah, alright. Just follow behind it.
Thank you.
Sachiko thinks she has a time to explore the remaining rooms while the others are busy, so if it's possible, I would like a general description of the security room.
Up, pile of cameras, and there is a device for checking cameras. There is a chip mail system, remote system control, hologram system. Down there is the door control system, mainframe interface, emergency contact system, room and system safety report, pod settings, and that's it.
I don't think Suchiko would be interested in any of them, so I guess I would investigate the office in my next turn.
Artemis, you are done with your weapon.
Is my sneaky peeper extendable or not?
Cinder actually gave you the extendable rod when you wanted to make the other thing, so you can actually upgrade your sneaky peeper.
I would like to enhance it by making it extendable and also try making it a bit more sturdy so it can't be broken as easily.
Yeah, all the success you would need for such a simple task.
Wunderbar, wunderbar.
For Nolan Cinder, the two of you are up.
Is the floor to ceiling all skin-ish, or are there parts where there is exposed wire?
There are no exposed wires, but Noel, you know that there is a hologram system that no one seems to care for, and you can actually pull up the entirety of the cable that powers only that system up from right here.
Go ahead. Shut that system.
You get yourself 5 meters of it. Some of it gets stuck in the wall, and later you could try to fetch it in other ways. So Cinder, you find yourself looking at Noel, who already just has 5 meters of somewhat thick cable.
I'm just gonna give it to her.
Cinder just hugs you.
Yeah, that's fine. Just take the cable.
Since she isn't going to get through the door, I just want to make sure that we have a plan.
How far away from the door does this cable reach?
Midway through the yellow bit.
Right.
You could sacrifice other systems that you know are down there to make it longer if you want.
I think that'll be alright for the moment.
Yeah, I just wanted to lay a foundation.
So are we gonna need this totally amped?
When the time comes, yeah.
Well, I'll leave it how it is now.
Thank you, Noel.
Yeah.
Suchiko?
So, Cinder, from 0 to 100, what is the number you think we're going to survive to see another store?
At this point, we just don't have enough resources to even get out of here.
0 to 100?
40%.
All right. So I would like to examine the Succs first. Bioanalyst, with my forensics abilities, and also with my knowledge of the family members' bodies, is there any possibility that I know who was wearing them?
An adult man, probably Norman's foot, was wedged in, and you think there's been strain on the bottom of it.
It seems that Norman was giving a foot job to someone with these Succs.
Cinder looks to Sachiko and looks down.
You see this big, luxurious rug.
Does it cover the entire room?
Mostly where the desk was. It can be easily lifted if you wanna.
Yeah.
You lift it. Nothing of interest seems underneath.
I look at the rug itself from the other side.
Nothing strange other than just marks on it, as if someone had been rubbing something bigger than just a sock on it previously.
Does my forensics tell me what?
An array of different types of fabric, including perhaps the blanket that you see there. Anything that could cause static electricity.
On the rug.
On the rug. Well, in the person's body, but yeah.
Okay, so one person, Norman had covered himself with the blanket and the sock and rubbed himself on the rug to create static electricity, yes?
From very long ago, on the rug there have been other types of material frequently rubbed on it, but the sock seems to have been used in a rush.
So Suchiko relays this information to Cinder and then says, "Don't you love it when you find more clues but you only get more confused?"
I mean, it's a start. I think this is probably the boy. I'm going to do a deep search just in case there's anything that has been missed.
One of the things that wasn't investigated at all by anyone was the printer.
I'll go ahead and look into that then.
Inside, as if stopped mid-function, you find what looks like a blue translucent cover. So it feels kind of plasticky to some extent, and it's pretty wide and long.
Huh. What is this?
You can see right through it.
And there's nothing written on it.
You think there's a little bit of a glow where your fingers are holding onto one side of it. Just a little bit of a cyan glow.
Does it look like different type of light would help, or?
I have the black light with me, by the way.
Oh.